3-1. The New York Giants, baby. New York Giants, New York, baby. Holding it down for us. What's going on, guys? The Giants are 3-0. 3-1, guys. And guess what? Not a lot of people thought it was going to happen, but it did. And I'm glad that the Giants at least are winning. But even with the wins, there's a lot of funny things going on, and hopefully we could get things fixed. But what's going on, guys? Welcome to Breaking Tackles, the New York Giants podcast. He's Manny. I'm Tone. What's going on, guys? Manny, how you doing, brother? How you living? And it's a duo show for us, as our boy Sal is not with us today. Sal, big shout out to you, man. We'll see you in the next podcast. But Manny, what's going on, man? What you up to, brother? And how you feeling?
I feel good, man. Fun time of the year. Obviously, football's going on. I don't know if it's the first quarter of the season anymore because it's 17 games, but nonetheless, first 4 games are gone. And now we're getting into October, fun time of the year. And I'm looking forward to some Sunday morning football, man. How are you doing?
Yes, sir, bro. I am so excited about the fact that we're going to play at 9 o'clock in the morning in the Eastern time, because that means that I could watch the game and then I could completely do whatever the hell I want.
Exactly.
I could get my day about it. Well, what time is it going to be? It's going to be 8 o'clock for you, since it's going to be 9 over here, correct?
Luckily, my girl gets us up at 7 and every Saturday.
Yeah, so man. I'm gonna try to make some breakfast.
By that time, the day's gonna be half gone. But yeah, no, it's exciting, man. Sunday games in the morning are always fun in London. Different atmosphere. Mm-hmm. It's also a lot more fun knowing that it's not just like, old school Jacksonville Jaguars 2-4 versus like the Bears that are like 1-5. It's not some crazy matchup like that. Even though the Giants are suspect 3-1,
right?
They're still 3-1.
They're still 3-1
against 3-1 Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay Packers. The first time 2 winning teams are going against each other in England. So
that's a first. I didn't even know that. That's a thing. Yeah. Holy crap. Okay, cool. That's even doper, man. And I mean, it's a big game for us. Listen, and we'll get back to that Packers game. Do I think that, and I saw so far a little bit of the Packers and Patriots game. Do I think that we have a chance? Absolutely. I think that the Giants have a chance every week they can, because this defense has proven that they're legit. Through 4 weeks, they're legit. We'll see now when it gets towards the heavy part of the schedule with elite quarterbacks. We'll see how they do. But before we even get to there's a whole bunch of stuff that we got to go ahead and talk about. I want to give a shout out to everyone that's on the pod right now that's watching us. Zero, what's going on, brother? How are you? Hopefully everybody here, just go ahead, sub the podcast, like the page, get us some love, show us some love, and let's talk about real quick off the rip, Bears Giants. Just give me your first impressions of that game, and then I'll give you mine.
Honestly, man, the coaching staff is where I go at first, and that's where I'm going to go at this whole season so far, man. These are games last year and years before with Joe Judge and other coaching staffs we had in the past before Tom Coughlin left. Mm-hmm. This is all coaching. Those coaching staffs would have lost these games. We would have probably been at best 1-3, 0-4 possibly. Mm-hmm. So it shows, obviously. I mean, we already won
as fans. Yeah, we know that. Yep. Yeah.
We already won 75% of the games we won last year in the first 4 weeks. So that's a big improvement already. Like, regardless of what the season happens, that's a big improvement. Crazy to say that, but it is. And I mean, it obviously shows too. You hear that one quote from a player that said, Brian Daboll, at the end of the game, when he didn't have a quarterback, close game, trying to put it on ice. They didn't have a quarterback, and he was calm. He was cool. He said you heard players had a quote that said other players would have shit themselves in that situation. I mean, other coaches would have shit themselves in that situation, but that's not, I mean, Brian Daboll has he's bringing in a different culture to this team, and he's really, he doesn't seem to be just an X and O's guy. He seems to be like an all around football coach. And that's something that we haven't had in a while since Tom Coughlin left. And it's not just Dayball either. You know, Dayball, he's the head guy, so he's going to get the love. But you got to give Kafka some love too.
A lot of love to Kafka.
Especially because, you know, we thought at the beginning of the season, a lot of people thought this is going to be, I mean, based off of Chiefs and the Bills, it's going to be pass heavy. Those teams didn't really incorporate the run very well. But then you see that this coaching staff, specifically on the offensive side right now, is showing something that Joe Judge has never showed.
On both sides.
Press conference.
On both sides.
That press conference. And I don't want to keep this as a Joe Judge press conference, you know, but I mean, as a Joe Judge show,
bashing, right?
I'm comparing him. I'm comparing it. It's right. All it is. But remember when he said you don't want to fit square pegs and round holes. You know, when you have players, don't tell me what they can't do. Coach them on what they can do. Emphasize those strengths. And then we're going to punch you in the mouth for 60 minutes with a relentless blah, 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 blah. You know, I mean, that's what Dave's and his staff is doing right now.
They're really doing that. Like
they're using Saquon to his fullest. Hey, potential. He's our best player on our team. Yep. He's the best offensive weapon we have. Give him the ball however we can. DJ is great at RPOs. Let's run those. He can move around. Let's run those.
Right.
Let's give these guys plays that are actually going to help them play. And it's not just obviously on the offensive side. I mean, Wink too. Everyone said this was going to be a crazy blitz, man-to-man coverage style of defense.
He has shown you his way to adjust in every single game. Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Still being aggressive, but putting his players in good spots.
Right.
Where if you stay in good position and you stay technique, unlike Austin Cilantro, then you'll be able to make plays and you won't have a possible 4 or 5 yard run turn into a 20, 30 yard run.
Right.
We know this roster isn't where it needs to be.
Right. This is year zero, like we like to say.
Yeah, but ultimately, you want to see this for the coaching staff. You want to see the players that are going to be here next year win these games and have something to lean on. It's exciting. And, you know, I think so far it's very early in this season, very early with Brian Daboll. But he's showing a lot more than Joe Judge, than Pat Shurmur, than Ben McAdoo has ever shown me combined. So I'm excited.
No, absolutely, brother. I mean, we could go on to days. It's just a night and day type of the coaching staff. We know that this is the best coaching staff that we've seen in this building in a long time. That's for sure. And one thing that you said that I wanted to point out was the fact that they're using their players like me and you specifically said this in the off season. We know that this roster is talent deprived. We understand that. But there's also a lot of positions in this roster that has a very high level in talent.
Shout out Sal.
Yeah, Sal, what's going on, baby? Like running back, like our interior linemen, like our outside linebackers, like our safety. We understood.
Like our left tackle.
Like we understood that there is some pieces here. And what are these guys doing? Like you said, these guys are winning with these pieces. You said that the offense is being able to adjust to what they have. I'll be honest. The last thing that I was expecting the New York Giants to do is come out this week and come out in 13 personnel and 12 personnel and just completely get away from the 11 personnel type of look. When I saw that, I was like, wow. Like, I wonder if this is now a thing that they're going to try to push for the remainder of the year until they get some of the wide receivers pieces back. Let's talk a little bit about that Bears game.
They've never been here.
Yeah, no. I mean,
like the wire, like what you said just now about the wire, like they've
Furious coming back. No, yeah, they
do this with like
we're MIA right now. We're MIA at the position, and Sills once again is dropping passes. You know what I'm saying, and it's crazy. But listen, let's go to this. I just want to say, the Bears game was the most dominant that I've seen this offensive line look all season long. They had everything under control. Whatever passing attempts we had, they had that under control. Whatever rushing attempts they had, dude, they were able to do outside zone good. They were able to do inside zone good. They were able to do gap runs out towards the outside good. It was split zone good. Like, there wasn't the score of this game. If we had any type of competence in the quarterback position, and yes, if you want to say that he doesn't have wide receivers, that's fine. But if we would have had any type of competent passing game, this should have been a blowout. This should have been our first blowout of the year.
Yeah, and everyone's saying he doesn't have any weapons. He may not have great wide receivers. That's very true. But he has the number one rushing attack in football right now. And Absolutely. The number one offensive weapon in football right now. And I can't wait to talk about Saquon later on.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I agree. I think if we were a little more settled in other positions, we'd be able to open up the playbook a little bit more for sure.
Yeah, man. And it's just frustrating too, because I just finished watching earlier today the tape on the Bears and the Giants. And here's the thing. And this is it. This is for me. This is what Jones is. Jones is locked into his first read. His first read is not open. He is going to stick on that first read until it gets open. If he's lucky enough to still have time in the pocket, then he's going to go like, okay, wait, I'm spending too much time here. And then he starts doing this to see if he has any chance, opportunity to get out of the pocket and then create, whether with his legs or with his arms. He's not processing the field fast enough. Like that, there was a play, right? 1 minute left in the first half of the game. 1 minute left to our halftime. We're on our own 32. First down. He's looking at, I believe it's at Sills. He's looking at Sills. Sills is not open. He's waiting for Sills to get open. And meanwhile, Tanner Hudson, which eventually he throws the ball to, and he rolls out the pocket and throws the ball to, and Tanner Hudson drops the ball. Go figure.
That was a really good pass by Jones.
It was. But he had that throw a while before that. He didn't even have to leave the pocket to go for Tanner Hudson. Tanner Hudson was wide open in that play, and it was a levels play because they had Barkley underneath the corner, and they were playing cover 2, and then they had Hudson over the corner. So the corner was like, okay, who should I cover? Who should I cover? Who should I cover? Point is, he couldn't throw into both. He could have gotten rid of the ball quicker. Daniel Jones is just not processing enough, and I'll be honest, he's holding this team back. He's holding this team back a lot. I'm not gonna hold back in this one. And if Sal was here, he'll probably talk about the EPA, and he'll say he had probably another negative EPA. There's no way that he had a good game this even though he had good rushing yards. He got 2 touchdowns. I understand all that, and listen, we're winning with him. So I understand why people want to say, hey, listen, just leave it as it is or whatever. But my thing is, we could be winning so much more easier games if we had some type of competency in that position.
Right.
Tyrod Taylor came in for a little bit. Sorry to interrupt, Manny. Tyrod Taylor came for a little bit. Threw into double coverage, which is not a good decision. But I'll say this. The interception was at they made a tackle at the 2-yard line. That's what I want to see happen. When I want us to take deep chances, because even if we get interceptions, we'll go ahead and it's like long punts at the end of the day. And then we put the defense in aggressive situations where the enemy offense, the opposing team offense, has to have their back against the wall. Right. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the deep shot that Daniel Jones took to Slayton. I wish he would have thrown it a little bit more ahead instead of behind. And I also wish that we put Slayton barely has played, right? Why do we go ahead? Why do we give Slayton 9 routes off the rip? Why can't we give him easy catches to get him in the flow of the game? Why bring him 0 to 100? I don't think that's fair to anybody, bro. Especially to an offense that's not going. So he should have caught that. Absolutely. Even though it was behind him, he should have caught that. And when the interception happened with Tyrod, he should have fought for that. But he was thinking about, I'm going to get blasted here. He made a business decision whatsoever. But
which I don't.
We need a quarterback. We need quarterback.
And I don't blame him because this team and the fan base was trying to trade this man since last year. So honestly, if that's what he did,
how he feels. Absolutely, 100%, Manny. If he wants to make business decisions and not give a fuck about this team, this fan base doesn't give a fuck about him. Pardon for my language. And who knows how people in the field teams.
If they lose that game, he's gonna have hell coming down on them.
Yeah,
but they didn't lose.
Well, one of the plays was pass interference, And the other, which shouldn't have been pass interference after I saw that he pushed off of the defender. The defender had nothing to do with that play to mess him up. But it's okay. We'll take it. But yeah, let's go.
Those bad calls.
Let's move on to good to great things. Great things in this team is my boy Saquon Barkley, who is through 4 weeks, making making a kind of an interesting debate for MVP possibly, man. Like, he has to be kind of in that conversation because we're 3-1 and we're 3-1 off of his back and only his back. The only one loss was probably his poorest game of the season, and he wasn't able to do nothing. And obviously, that was a Dallas game.
He scored a touchdown in that game.
Right, but what was his yardage, I think, in that game? What wasn't they able to...
Like right around like 80 or so yards.
Okay.
Maybe he had like over 100 yards.
Oh,
overall.
did he? Did he have 100 total yards?
He had a good game. I think it was just the Cowboys are a better team.
No,
I think that was a nice little smack to reality game for us fans.
Okay, so let me ask you now this. I mean, do you think Saquon Barkley could keep this up now for the rest of the season? Like, so last week last game against the Bears, he had 31 carries. Is that something that you're like, yo, listen, whatever we got to do, or you're like, yeah, I prefer we don't do that actually?
I'm going to be cool with whatever game plan they goes with when it comes to this game, when it comes to the coaching staff. They've shown that they've been able to come up with game plans towards specific teams, albeit not the best teams in the league. That's fine.
Right.
But we also weren't considered much either. So we play who's on our schedule. I think if anything, Saquon has shown that when he gets going like this, like in 2018, that it's sustainable. But I mean, I remember I asked a question. Shout out Talking Giants. I remember I asked a question to their mailbox pod. I don't know if I'll be on there, but they said I asked a question. Do you think Saquon can lead this team to the playoffs, a la like Adrian Peterson did, with not much at the QB position, but the team was on his back and he rode them to the playoffs? I honestly don't know. I'm just gonna say this. I think he is, like, this point right now, he's better than what he's been since he's been in the league. That's crazy saying that.
I agree with that.
Most running backs will hit the wall when they get injured and when they go through those injuries and stuff, But
shout out to medical technology, though. Shout out to medical technology.
Yeah, and shout out Saquon for
putting in the work,
showing why he should have been drafted second overall. And yes, we can go back and forth about should he or shouldn't he have. It doesn't really matter at this point. He's on the team now, and that's already in the past.
Yeah.
I think Saquon, I go back and forth about this because I think any rookie QB, and I'm going off of this because I feel like we are going to have a rookie QB by this time next year, but I think any rookie QB can benefit from having a weapon like Saquon. He's not just in the run game. It's everything. Everything.
So what you're trying to say is you want to see him extended.
Here's the thing. I don't like if they can make it work with the cap.
Sure.
And if you
cap shouldn't be a problem, though. Cap shouldn't be a problem. Yeah. We should be able to take care.
If you don't overpay him, and
so that's my problem with Giants Twitter.
Thing, but it doesn't work. If it doesn't work, like, you can franchise tag him. You have those options as well, or you can franchise and trade him if he's really like, I'm not going to play on the franchise tag. Then cool, you can trade him.
Correct.
You can't let him walk. You can't let him walk
for sure. And I don't think that this coaching staff, Shane doesn't look like he's the guy that would do that.
Yeah, exactly. And I trust Joe Shane to this point. But Saquon, to me, it would be like if he can continue on this arc right now as we speak. He's number one in rushing. This team is number one in rushing, and he's number one in scrimmage yards as well. I love to see it. I love to witness it. If they can work on a deal to keep him in New York and it's not going to break the bank and it's going to work for both parties, cool. Because whoever you like at quarterback, they're in the draft coming up, whoever you like, they're going to benefit from having the best. I've said it. If he's healthy, when he's right, he's the best running back in football. So any quarterback, rookie, pro, been in the league for a minute, stinks, they're going to benefit from having Saquon on their team.
So I'll start off with this. I'll say this. In terms of the 31 carries that he had this week, I would prefer if we tone it down for him. I want to see him in about 25 to 27 total touches for the day, whether that's and I want to. So and if you're gonna go to 30 or 31,
Yeah.
I would love to see a better distribution between catching the ball and running the ball, as opposed to he had, I think, 2 receptions this game and then 31 carries. And again, and then there's also a thing between dirty carries and I guess easy carries. By the way, this was his first game where he really was used pounding the rock. He hasn't had 30 carries all year. This was the first one.
This is the most carries I think in his career.
Could be. Sal just finished saying franchise him tag for $12 million, and I think that might be a good way to go. But I'll say this: yesterday's price.
Franchise tag him. I'm just gonna say real quick. Just because you franchise tag him doesn't mean he's stuck on it. You can still work a negotiation out.
100%. We don't know what's gonna happen next season. You just finished saying we're gonna go with a rookie QB. We don't know that. We might get a big name QB here. Like we shouldn't even worry about the offseason. We're way too into this season to worry about who's gonna be QB this year for the Giants. I mean next year. Saquon Barkley, I would say this: yesterday's price is not today's price. He is getting more and more valuable, not only to us, but the entire league.
He's on that Aaron Judge, you mean? Shout out Aaron Judge.
Shout out to Aaron Judge with 62, man. It's good to see him break the American League record. Saquon Barkley, remember at the beginning of the season, we was like, yo, we'll trade Saquon Barkley for a third. Then the conversation now became, oh, we'll trade Saquon Barkley for a second. I'll make the conversation right now that we shouldn't give up Saquon Barkley for anything less than a first-round draft pick. And if it's not first-round draft pick, then absolutely keep him here. And yes, I know that people are going to say nobody's going to give up a first-round draft pick for a running back. I'm pretty sure that those Super Bowl teams that are contending for a Super Bowl, that are clear-cut Super Bowl champs, they give no Fs about those first-round draft picks.
F those picks.
Because those first-round draft picks are really just really early second-round picks. If you're picking at 30, 31, 32, that's just an early second-round pick, man. I'm pretty sure those guys would do that.
That's a good point.
So with that being said, if we do, and then this is what kind of pisses me off about Giants Twitter. They want to make the cake and they want to eat it too. If Saquon Barkley has an elite year in terms of numbers, he should not take a hometown discount for anybody. Not for this team, not for nobody. Saquon Barkley should be demanding the damn bag. Highest paid running back in the league. And if that's not with us, rest in peace, Giants. Go with whoever that you have to go. I hate the fact that we're trying to control other people's pockets. When this NFL league, they will cut anyone, any second, not care about anything. So why? I hate that. Like I hate that people are like, oh, well, hopefully he takes a hometown discount. No.
I'm one of those people.
No, man. Like I'm not okay with that. I'm okay with players getting their money. Like again, I know it's gonna hurt my team, the New York Giants, but let's be realistic here, man. Like he has his own life, his own franchise, his own legacy to think about. Why would I take a hometown discount, bro? Go ahead.
I have one reason why.
Go ahead.
Because you just mentioned he has his life, which is entrenched where he's living right now.
Right.
He has, I think if I'm not mistaken, he signed with Jay-Z's sports. What are they called?
Rock Nation. Rock Nation.
They're in New York.
Right.
His brand is New York. I'm not saying take a hometown discount. No.
Right.
Get your worth.
Right.
I'm saying I would don't take, if I have my choice, don't take a Zeke or a CMC type of contract.
I don't think anybody's going to get, and Zal just finished saying, I love, Zal said, I love Saquon, but no one will offer Zeke or Kamara contracts to running backs anytime soon. And I completely agree. I think I think people have understood that those contracts are out of this world. I don't think we'll see Zeke or Kamara money again.
I think you give him a good contract. You give him a good deal. Anywhere like 3-year, 30 mil, something like that. 4-year, 35 mil, like something that's a good deal. That's not gonna.
So if I'm him, I'm taking a 4-year, nothing less than a 4-year deal, because I want to play till I'm 30.
Something where, like, I mean, it just needs to make sense for both parties, and maybe it doesn't make sense for the Giants to shield that money. But
Sal, how do you feel about $12 million? How do you feel, Manny, about $12 million a year for him? 12.5. That would put him around that Dalvin. So that would put him around 4th. He says, hey, I want to get paid more than Dalvin. And Dalvin is paying 12.6. So you got to pay him 12.7, or you got to give him 13.
I would say if you could, I would say 4-year deal. I would say 3-year deal, 13 mil a year.
Yes, you do it.
I would do that.
I like it. And that helps him because he's not unrealistic. I think the CMC with 16 million exact. Great point. The cap next year is gonna blow up too because it's gonna be the TV deals gonna kick in and all this stuff. So we're
gonna be on a rookie QB contract for several years.
Probably,
possibly.
Right.
There's a very good chance
if we get Richardson or something like that.
and like you said, it's early, but that's something too. And we actually have a guy who knows what he's doing with the Giants.
100%.
Not just Joe Shane, but Brandon Brown as well. So if they can make it work, yeah. But if they can't, like you said, if you can get a first, awesome. If you can get a second, or if you get a second and a player, cool. But yeah, let's just talk about his greatness. He's great, and I'm just very happy.
I just want to see him back. I want to see him get paid too, bro, because this is how. And let's be honest, man. Think of Twitter last year. Think about how many people on Twitter were saying he's an injury-prone running back. He dances around. New York Giants fan base, you do not deserve nothing good. You don't deserve nothing good, bro. Like, yo, Zero said this in a Spaces. He was like, yo, sometimes I'm ashamed to be a Giants fan with some of these fans. I agree. Sometimes I'm ashamed to be a Giants fan with this fan base, knowing that probably every fan base has some type of like annoying people like that. Yeah. Saquon Barkley should not take a hometown discount for anybody.
And he should take whatever deal he wants to take.
100%.
Whatever deal he wants to make.
If it works out for the New York Giants, perfect. If it doesn't, oh well. Let's get some value out of that.
Saquon. God bless.
God bless him. But right now, we're enjoying Saquon because he is right now carrying this team on his back, at least in the offensive side of the ball.
Run the damn ball.
Run the ball. Throw passes to him. The screen game, all that stuff. I'm just loving it.
Let him throw the ball too.
Let him throw the ball. We probably will see that. We probably will see the Wildcat. We'll probably see him throwing the ball.
Let's get into it.
Let's talk about before we move on to the Panthers game, we gotta give a big shout out to Wink, who held Packers. I believe before we get to the Packers, he held I think the Bears to 12 points in this game. Was it 12 points or was it 15?
Touchdowns. No touchdowns. 12 points, all field goals.
Bro,
Graham Gano special.
I get it that and I'll say this. I looked up time to throw. Time to throw for me is getting into a new level of importance. I would say this. The only other quarterback that has a higher time to throw than Daniel Jones was that man that we faced last week.
They're killing him. They're not doing. They're killing.
He doesn't look. Yo, dude, there was a touchdown wide open to Crowder. That Crowder let a inside receiver just go up the seam. It was a cover 2 that we were running. He never saw it, and it was clear as day right in front of his face. I was like,
bro, you were talking about a quarterback that may be available. That may be a dude that might be available.
I don't think I want him. I think he's damaged goods.
Honestly, he's young enough. I'm willing to take that ride because I think that. What up, Shakedown?
Shout out to the Shakedown.
I think he could. I think he can thrive under this offensive system.
And if that's either chosen one man, shout out to you, E.
Yeah, I think he can shout out. I think he can thrive with this coaching staff over the crap that the Bears got. But he's not. He's getting killed right now.
He's getting killed right now. So who right now for you would say is the MVP of our defense right now? I like that question that you posted for us.
Yeah.
I'm going to start first. I'm going to say the MVP of our defense is Dexter Lawrence.
Yeah.
You agree with that?
He is, but that's not the guy I was going to talk about.
Who are you going to talk about?
Obviously, we could go to Dexter. He's having a great season. In his natural position, defensive tackle, where he should have been.
Nose tackle, yes. Nose and defensive, you're right.
Leo is showing how valuable he is to this D-line and how important it is to have him on this team.
I was going to say him, but he missed a game. Or he missed 2 games or 1 game so far? 2 games he missed so far.
Yeah, Adoree obviously is having a good season as a CB1.
Hell yeah.
He has let some plays go.
But who the hell? Night. But who the hell do we think? Do we think that he's Darrelle Revis? Like he's Adoree Jackson.
I think he's having a good season.
He's playing above and beyond Adoree Jackson right now, man. Like he's playing gangster. You know what I'm saying?
I think Adoree's having a good season. I mean, I know he's given that one touchdown to CD.
I'm okay with one big ball. And first of all, and that Adoree that touchdown to CD Lamb, that was a perfect throw, perfect catch. No defense for that. No defense for that.
It was a great catch. He's playing good football. He's playing good ball for us.
Really good ball, man.
However,
who's MVP?
I want to focus on another player on this team. And it's a player that
you better not say that. You better not say it.
He gets dragged in the mud sometimes, and sometimes it's warranted. But I want to talk about, and I want to shout out Quartavious Crowder.
No, man, Crowder. No.
I got you, but let me go ahead. Let me listen. Let me spit something with you real quick. This guy gets criticized a lot, especially by you. And I get it. A lot of times it's warranted. He's not a legit number one linebacker.
He's
number
not
one middle
MVP
linebacker.
Either.
He's a better Robin than Batman. That's for sure. But people forget sometimes when this dude was recruited to Georgia, he wasn't recruited to play linebacker. He was recruited as a running back and then transitioned to the linebacker side.
Copy.
And then he got drafted last overall in the 2020 draft as Mr. Irrelevant.
Copy.
You know? And then I know he's not a superstar. I already mentioned he's a better Batman. He's a better Robin than he is a Batman.
Copy.
But then this man's productive as hell. Even though last year he wasn't good in a lot of moments, this man still had over 100. This man still had 130 tackles. He had 1 forced fumble, 2 picks, and that's with him coming off a rookie season where he played next to Blake.
So I'll give him that. I'll give him that.
And then he had over what? This man has had over 50 tackles his rookie season. He had 1 sack. He had a fumble recovered in a touchdown that went to a touchdown that won us the game versus Washington. Forget that. That was the first game of the season that they won, and it was off of that touchdown he got. He sealed the game. So far this year, and I know he hasn't been good this season. Again, better Robin than Batman. He still has 25 tackles right now, 1 sack, a forced fumble. In the Bears game alone with Jaylon Smith, who they should keep Jaylon Smith and let Austin Cilantro go. But you know, alongside Jaylon Smith, he had 10 tackles, he had a fumble. I mean, usually Tay, I know he has an issue with reaction time and coverage. I know in the run game, it sometimes takes a minute for his reaction to go through in that as well. But Tay looked good in both this last season, albeit that one play you mentioned. I get that, but
right.
I think the Giants should find a way. The Giants should find a Batman to play next to Tay. And I'm not saying break the bank to keep Tay Crowder. Obviously, you don't break the bank to keep Tay Crowder.
You don't even sign him.
You don't even need to, right? But you don't need to give him like a contract that's like, really? You just give him what he deserves. But it's like what I said last week with Julian Love. You need those types of guys in the
100%. I would love to keep. I'd love to. So I'm guessing that he's in his last year. Is that what it is?
Next year will be his last year. It's his 3rd year.
Okay.
So I'm not saying he's not a true middle linebacker. I get he's productive when he's
Manny. He might not. The truth is, he might not even see the field in 3 or 4 weeks. He might not even see the field.
I tend to believe it's hard to say that there's a second linebacker better than him.
AJ Klein just got signed for the Giants. It might be AJ Klein and Jaylon Smith as a 1-2 punch.
That's a very good point, but I don't think those guys are here for the long haul. I think
I don't think Crowder's here for the long haul either. I think even if you bring Crowder back, like say for example, next year he's his last year, cool, and let's say you extend him, I think Crowder would be an excellent special teamer. I think he could tackle pretty well. He could spell middle linebacker. But I'll tell you this much, and shout out to Brandon London, who told me, that's my big bro. He told me, yo, he didn't even at me, but I felt like I felt like he was personally attacked him. He said, where are all the people that talk smack about about Tay Crowder? He had a great game now, and I said, oh, cool, bet. I'm gonna look at the film and I'm gonna give him a shout out. Bro, I just finished watching the film, and I'm still not pleased at his performance. Even that statistically, he had, like you mentioned, tackles for a loss or whatever. He had a fumble.
10 tackles, a sack, a fumble.
I'm not impressed with the performance. I really am not, man. And like, again, every time that Jalen Smith was on the field, for the most part,
right,
good things happened in that game.
And that's what I'm saying. He's a good Robin. He ain't a Batman.
And listen, I don't even think he's a good Robin to be like. I would love to see. I would have loved to see if we signed Landon Collins, and I would have loved to see Landon Collins in that weak side linebacker, and I would have loved to. And I'm gonna see what AJ Klein is gonna bring to the Giants. Yo, we're really not asking much of these linebackers, to be honest. We're asking these guys to play a hook to curl, and we're asking them to cover running backs off of the backfield, like off of swing passes and stuff like that, non-threatening running backs. Like, this defense is not asking in terms of assignments to do much. I love the blitz. Crowder did have a sack. I love that Wink did that play twice, which was kind of like a twist on the linebackers. He twisted the linebackers. The running back picked up Jalen Smith. Crowder went up free, popped and sacked what's the Bears quarterback name?
Justin Fields.
They did it again. They did it again late in the game, and Justin Fields just got the ball off. He threw it out of bounds, but they popped Justin Fields again pretty hard. Let me see real quick. So if he Sal said if he can move to weak side linebacker, he's better there than true middle linebacker. He can't be the Mike. He's not productive. He's productive when he's not the guy. I agree. I think this was one of his better games when he wasn't the guy. He plays better when Blake is there being the guy. He played better in snaps when Jalen was the guy. So
even with our dude Zero, who's out for the season.
Him and Zero, he looked good there, and he was the one playing on the left side of Zero, not on the right side. I feel like if you see the right side of the linebacker, that's the main guy, and the left side is like you say, the weak side. So that's as far as I'll go in terms of Tay Crowder. I will not for sure give him I would disagree with you 100%. I still want to see Tay either as the number 2 linebacker or off the field completely and play maybe some special teams. I don't think Tay Crowder should be right now on the field for us. I think there's too much. Again, I saw the Bears tape, and there's too many things that I was like, damn, man, like get off. Like you're saying, his reaction time scares me. Love is in the last year. Southside Taylor is in his last year. Yep, we said that his next year is his last. Love is in his last year of his contract, and he's gonna get a contract elsewhere. So, interesting topic. Julian Love. I think that if he goes somewhere else and he goes somewhere else on a cheap contract, I think that the Giants are doing themselves a disservice.
Yeah, no, like I said last week, they should re-sign him, and I think they will.
But it needs to be at the right price.
Yeah, you don't break the bank for him
because he's a good locker room guy. He's good for morale, and then I'm starting to kind of open up towards him.
He's a Swiss Army knife, bro.
You know what I'm saying? My problem with him is you're not gonna get an interception off of him. Like that's the thing. Like the big play that I want to see. Like again, secondary. Get me interceptions. Well, we haven't seen anybody get interceptions so far in this team. Also, it could be the quarterbacks that you're playing against. That's a big deal. But yeah, man, Love doesn't do it for me, man. Like Love doesn't have enough pass breakups for me. Doesn't have enough interceptions. Like that's the things that I want to see out of secondary players. I want to see out of linebackers. I want to see tackles, and I want to see tackles for a loss, possibly. Yeah. And I want to see forced fumbles out of linebackers. Not so much tackles for loss. Tackles for loss is pretty hard nowadays. It's pretty rare for linebackers to get nowadays. But yeah, that's the kind of stuff that I want to see. I'm just not. I'm okay with, like Sal said, I'm okay if Julian Love gets a contract and gets paid somewhere else. If it's manageable, yeah, absolutely bring him over here.
Yeah, I think, and that's what I'm hoping for. But
and Sal made a good point right there. Sal said McKinney is gonna get paid top 10 safety money. I'll tell you this much. He's probably going to pay top 5 safety money. And then Belton is good enough to replace Love in his duties, and I agree with him. And we could easily let Love walk. We can't pay everybody. If somebody's not giving you high production, You shouldn't sign him. That's bad. That's playing GM as a fan and not as what's the best interest for my team.
Right. Well, we don't know if Julian Love's going to play because he's on concussion protocol, as is Tyrod Taylor, as is a lot of players that aren't in concussion protocols, but they injured.
How do you feel about concussion protocol now? Do you think that like now players are going to miss a week through concussion protocol after what Tua went to?
I think that, yeah, I think you got to take it by case, and you just got to let the guys play. Like last year when DJ came back, I think he was fine to play. I think he was. I think he was fine to play. But also too, like Tua obviously wasn't, and there's been other situations where they weren't. So I think they should. I think the Giants have never had that issue. Hopefully, God willing, knock on wood. So we'll see. But yeah, no, any of the word. But now we're going in. Let's talk about it. We've got the London game coming up against the Packers. Shout out our breaking tackles giant member from England,
right? Chris, baby.
Shout out, my friend. We miss you. Shout out, Chris.
Absolutely.
Are you worried about any of the injuries going into this game?
So, am I worried about the injuries in this game? Just real quick, refresh me on some of the injuries that I should be worried about. Like, for example, I think Leonard is coming back.
The quarterback situation. That's a big one.
Nope.
The quarterback situation, that's a big one because we don't know who's going to – Tyrod's probably not going to play.
I think it's
Daniel
either –
Jones may have a high ankle sprain.
I think it's going to be either Daniel Jones or a combination of Davis Webb or whoever the hell they think they want to brand.
Right. And then you also got Aziz, still question mark about him.
So what happened with Aziz?
Apparently he pulled out his calf, got hurt, and at the end of the game, and he told reporters that he's feeling okay. But then the Giants also said like we got to check on him and see. We'll know more about it by tomorrow.
So I'll be honest, Jihad Ward is playing better than Aziz, so I'm okay. I'm okay with
Aziz
that.
Did get a sack. Aziz did get a sack this last week.
I feel like
that was a turnover.
I feel like Jihad is having a bigger impact than Aziz.
I think it's early still because Aziz just came back last week.
It's absolutely early. But I'm just saying now, I'm not okay. I'm okay with him missing a game. Is that like that's I'm not concerned about that. Let's go on to the next guy.
Okay. And then we got
corner
Adoree Aaron Robinson, he's on IR for 4 games.
Really concerned about that.
I do like Fabian Moreau. He hasn't been bad.
Listen, we haven't been embarrassed yet at corner.
Yeah, exactly.
So
as bad as we thought it was going to be, it hasn't been embarrassing. Which
isn't that funny as hell? Like we haven't been embarrassed at corner yet.
In the off season, we be bored. It's okay.
We be bored in the off season.
Hey, it's also Kenny Golladay may be out.
Wink is real. That no concern with that. Negative concern.
I don't have any concerns. I don't have much concerns either, too, bro. I'm not too worried, even though
I don't think that this game is. Let me say this. By no means am I saying the Giants are going to win this game. But even if they don't win this game, I don't care. I don't care. This is a game that nobody, including myself, was not expecting to win this game. This is not a game I had circled.
Right. And I don't care, nor do I. And like I said, it's not like I care or whatever, but I'm kind of like the same as you. We know the big injuries, the big ones we don't even want to get injured. I'm not going to say it. Don't say the names. Let's not jinx it. Don't even say it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Good. But I didn't have us winning at full strength anyways, unless they were going to bring back LT and Strahan to get the edges. I wasn't expecting the Giants to win this game.
But let's talk some ball.
There's a lot of guys. But the good news is it seems like some guys that are dinged up may be back. Like Leo, I think he has a good chance to come back this week.
I think you put Leo on a straight situation. Like here's the thing too, though.
He's different. He's a different dude. He had a season-ending injury last year, and he didn't miss a game.
If it's his knee that we're talking about that's messed up,
that's
right?
True.
And he puts like pressure, obviously fighting with linemen and stuff like that. He could pop that knee and be done for the year.
Yeah. So I think it just depends like on. I mean, he seems to be a dude that's always been very healthy. So you kind of hope that he sticks to that.
Another thing is don't play him at defensive end. Let him just line up in front of guards and centers.
You have your DNs now.
And have him.
You have your outside linebackers. Yeah.
Exactly. Have him just hey, straight line rush. We don't want you to bend the corner too much or anything like that crap. Just straight line rush for this game until you get your knee a little bit better. But if his knee is not that good, listen, this is a game that most likely we're probably going to lose. So if we got to sit him for one more week, absolutely sit him. Absolutely.
That's okay. Yeah. And then, I mean, I'm hopeful Wan'Dale plays. I am hopeful for Wan'Dale to play.
Can he play, please? Can Tony play, or is that not going to happen?
I don't have any expectation for Tony to play until he plays. Nothing. I'm done. I'm not even. I'm off the Warrior.
Concern for Tony? Concern for Tony?
I don't even care about Tony anymore. I don't care. If he plays, great. If not, like, don't expect him to be on the team next year.
Wow. You don't expect him to be on the team.
It's not even a disrespect to him, but I don't think the Giants have time to try to go ahead and
He's not reliable. Healthy. He's not reliable.
Right. The best availability. But yeah, no.
Sad, man. It's so sad because he's such a monster. He's such a monster.
Stinks, but hey, it's cool. I mean,
I'm cool with that too. Hey, I'm cool with that too.
This man gets injured recording music, so I don't even know what the hell. How do you get injured on your day off? Okay, whatever.
The question with the question to you is, I mean, you're not gonna release him because he's on the rookie contract, right?
No, you trade him.
Trade him for what?
A third or a second?
You think you could get a third or a second of a man? Let's say.
I think so. I think so.
I guess it depends. This is a long year ahead, and we still don't know what he's gonna do this year, right?
The Bears, they could use some wide receivers. There's teams out there There's teams out there.
What team is gonna give you a third for Tony, man?
Shoot,
Sal said a day 3 pick, so that's probably the 5th or 6th.
I will take Calvin Ridley and a 5th or 6th round pick.
No, we would have to send it to them.
Yeah, I'm cool. I will give them Tony.
Yeah.
And a 4th round pick, and then one of
I would 100% with
Carl
that.
Banks starter jackets.
I would
for Calvin Ridley.
I would absolutely give a third.
Hey,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
But if he balls, and he looks good, keep him. If he's reliable, keep him. But right now he hasn't shown that, so whatever.
How many games has he played this year?
He's played like 1.
Okay.
Yeah, and no stats. So,
I think he needs to. He needs to. Let's say, for example, next week, if he plays next week, he can't miss another game this season. Like he has to. That's it. Yeah,
I agree. And I'm not really obviously the QB situation. You're worried about it.
I'm not.
But at the very least, we need to get a backup, and they worked out a few dudes.
I think that we have a better chance of winning this game if David West is the quarterback than Daniel Jones.
I'm good either way, man. You know how I feel about this season, bro. Fahala and the ayahuasca and my hot girl summer with my girls was exactly what I needed just to be like, hey, we're gonna be good regardless. And obviously, this season's been fun to watch already.
Very fun.
Talked about how awesome.
Very fun. Very creative.
How awesome the young players on this team has looked. Mm-hmm. So I'm just excited to watch some Sunday morning football, to be honest, bro.
Absolutely, brother. There's no worries at all in this game. I'm going in this game with if we lose, I still have a whole Sunday. Yo, perfect. That's a perfect song. I wish we could play that without copyrights. It's gonna be all right. Yo, it's definitely gonna be okay. I think if we lose, as long as it's a competitive close game, I'll be okay with it.
Right.
Yeah. I'll cry a little bit if we lose like by 3 points. Like if they hit like a game-winning field goal, that would suck. Again, if it's a close game, I think our coaching staff beats their coaching staff. If it's a close game, if it's a blowout, then so be it. Yeah, let's talk about it. Okay, listen. This is my concern. My concern is the biggest strength in our team, Wink Martindale. Wink, you faced the one quarterback this season that's one of the top 7. I want to say. I don't know where he's at now. No.
Top 5.
Wait, hold on. One of the top 5, top 7 quarterbacks in terms of time to throw, in Cooper Rush. Well, this week we actually get somebody that's even faster on their time to throw than Cooper Rush. We get Hall of Famer and former MVP of last season and the season after before that, Aaron Rodgers.
Immunized Rodgers, yes.
If you blitz Rodgers will cook you like Jeffrey Dahmer, and he will eat you alive. Yeah. He will absolutely dissect this defense and cook them. You have to win with the front 4. This Packers team, I still haven't finished watching the whole tape. I watched one half of football with the Patriots. They're a team that doesn't look like they're coached well. I'll be honest with that aspect. They're looking very sloppy, and in terms of route running, Aaron Rodgers is not in the same kind of frame, like in the same. Yeah, they're not in the same page. Him and his wide receivers, they're not on the same page.
Right.
So that's that.
which was expected. Obviously, you let go of
right
the number one wide receiver.
They still have
the best wide receiver.
They still have two very good running backs. Like Aaron Jones runs really violently, and it's a really good running back. We got to be very careful with that man.
AJ Dillon is the cannonball.
AJ Dillon will run over this game. AJ Crowder probably a couple of times. AJ Crowder is gonna miss a lot. I mean, Tay Crowder is probably gonna miss some tackles off of Dillon. I can see it happening. So it's going to be scary.
He did bring down Derrick Henry, so ain't nothing too big for DeCortavius.
That's a fact. Let me give some more credit to Tay Crowder. Tay Crowder
love.
I apologize, Tay Crowder. You actually do probably can't bring down.
You know, last year the Ravens and the Packers played a game, and that's when Wink was the DC there, and that's when the team wasn't very good on the defensive side for Wink,
right?
Especially in the back end.
Right.
And it was a game in December, so by that time the
defense did come back on Wink's defense for the Baltimore Ravens. So if you're saying December, they were starting to get healthy again at that time.
The cornerbacks were still out. Like the starting corners were out for the most part. It was still pretty tough. But
here we go. Here we go with the dime
time to throw
by Sal. Cooper Rush time to throw 2.6. Justin Fields 3.12, and Aaron Rodgers is at 2.48. This is my key to winning this game. Don't rush Aaron Rodgers with if you're gonna do it, only send 5. Keep it to 4 if possible. Wink, get out of your damn way. Don't kill yourself. Stop the run with just the front 7. Don't bring people in the box to stop the run. If you need to do that, fine. But please don't put yourself in a position where Aaron Rodgers could carve you.
So last year when the Ravens played the Packers and Wink was the D coordinator there, they lost 31-30. Aaron Rodgers, he had a pretty good game. 260 yards passing, 3 touchdowns. Rushing wise, you mentioned rushing. Rushing wise, they held the Packers to under 100 yards rushing. And wide receiver wise, Green Bay, none of their wide receivers had 100 yards. And now those two guys that had the 2 bigger games last year in those games for Aaron Rodgers against Wink's D, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, not with the Chiefs. Devontae Adams with the Raiders. Plus the Ravens were able to get 3 sacks.
If we score 30 points against the Packers, we'll win them laughing.
And we've seen this year that Green Bay hasn't looked godly on offense like they have before.
Bro, the problem is that the problem is not offense. The problem is our offense. How are we going to score points?
And they still have a legend at QB. They still have a great running game. They have a solid offensive line. Like Bakhtiari's a good tackle. I like Jenkins as a versatile guard tackle guy on their team as well.
They're not the best offensive line. They're not the worst offensive line. They're above average.
Right.
And Aaron Rodgers helps the offensive line.
I think between the offensive lines, they probably have a little bit better than ours, but we have the better offensive lineman than Andrew Thomas.
I think we have the better offensive line. Period. I think we move the ball better than them. Just get this offensive line a competent quarterback, and you'll see it. It's there, bro. That Bears game, this man wasn't even. He was sacked once, and it was on a rollout. That doesn't even count to me. Because how is your offensive line gonna protect you on a rollout? It's a naked rollout. It's meant to. Are we gonna fool the offense? No, we didn't fool the defense. Okay, cool. Then we're gonna get sacked. So
now I'll say this.
How do we score, Manny? That's my question.
And that's how the Giants have to win this game, bro. The Giants need to win. Listen. Green Bay hasn't looked great. And New England kind of showed this past Sunday. They played good defense, and the offense they're gonna have to put points. They're gonna have to keep it close. It's gonna be none of those defensive battles, 20-12, 19-13, 21-20. It's not gonna work.
Nope.
That's not. They have to be able to score against this team.
Yep.
And I'm gonna give my prediction right now. I'm not confident they're gonna be doing that. I think this is gonna be a get right game for the Packers.
Okay.
And this is a chance that we're gonna see. Jake from State Farm possibly playing in this game.
Yes! I would love that. I don't think it's possible, but I don't think it's gonna happen. But I would love to see it happen.
Yeah.
I
don't see us.
If Jake Fromm plays again for the Giants, I'm saying it right now. I'm looking at the camera. If Jake Fromm plays again for the Giants, he won't let go of that job. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I think the Packers are probably going to win this game, and the Giants are going to lose.
I think so too.
35-16.
No. I don't think it's that. Do you know the only way that I see if David Webbs plays, we win the game. By the way, anybody but Jones.
Davis Webb puts up 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. Giants Twitter is going to be a mess.
It would be so fun to watch, though. It would be so fun to watch.
Bro, the fan in me just keeps going back to
100%. Sal, Jake Fromm can't throw further than 20 yards, and I still think he's a better quarterback than Daniel Jones.
Honestly, it's funny because he's not.
He is.
It's funny, bro. He's like, I keep going back to the Colt McCoy 2020 game when they went up to Seattle.
I wish Colt McCoy was here. I wish Colt McCoy was here.
I kept going back to that and think like, what if Davis Webb just went in? But I don't see it.
I don't like Davis Webb in terms of his reaction. I still think his reaction is a little bit faster than Jones, but I still think that he's a little bit slow in processing stuff in the field. That's just my take on Webb. I think that he one thing about Webb is he doesn't hesitate too much. Like if his first read is not open, he's gone. He's using his legs, even though he's a slow dude, but he's running still regardless. Like he thinks he's freaking Josh Allen.
DJ.
He thinks he's Josh Allen, bro, for real.
If he plays this game, it'll be the first time he's ever started in the NFL in the regular season.
How kind of romantic would it be that he's starting with the team that actually drafted him, though? It would be kind of romantic.
Yeah, well, you can go to Hallmark for that crap.
Yo, all right, man. We are gonna wrap it up. It's been fun so far. Tell me. So I'll tell you this much. I think that in terms of score, I think our defense allows 24 to 27 points, no more than 27 points to Aaron Rodgers. And if the game is close, that's if it's a blowout, in my opinion. 27 points is the most that we allow. The only way that it gets out of hand, which is like 30 or 40 points, is if whoever's quarterbacking for the New York Giants is out here throwing 2 interceptions in this game, which is very possible regardless. No matter who's that quarterback for the Giants.
They have a good secondary. That dude, Jaire Alexander, is a dude.
Oh, Jaire Alexander is still in that team?
Stokes is a good player, too.
They have a good defense, period. I'll tell you this much. The way to kind of keep this Packers team honest this week is by playing that 13 and 12 personnel that we played against the Bears. I think that that's the key to our victory moving on out is go heavy. Go heavy and kill people with those formations. Sal said Packers 24, Giants 20. Sal, I'm going to go Packers 24, Giants 14. I don't think that we just manufacture points.
35-16 Packers. Sorry, guys.
All right. Big shout out to all the people who are in the chat. Guys, we appreciate your time here. For our boy Queens_guy, aka Sal, shout out to him. Everybody follow him on his own Twitter handle. My Agenda 58 right here. Manny, and I'm BT Giants on Twitter. Tone. Yo, we want to say thank you so much for everybody, man, and enjoy. Get some breakfast. Get some beer and enjoy the Giants early breakfast. And regardless of the fact whether we win or lose, you get to still go to brunch and enjoy brunch. I think I'm gonna do that.
Thank you for all the supporters. Thank you to our amazing guests. We can't wait to keep getting you guys on. Anyone who wants to join the show, anyone who wants to come on and break it down with us, please come on. DM
me, Manny, or Sal. We would love to have people over here. We don't need to have only 4. We can have 38 people in here. I don't think it's possible, but we'll make it happen, man. We'll make it happen. We'll take turns if we have to, man.
2020 college Zoom class style. Let's go.
Hey, but if the Packers lose to the Giants, though, I won't know how to act. I'll be honest. I'll say that.
Oh, yeah. Let's just chill. But hey, man, Tony, gracias, amigo.
Peace out, guys. Have a great one, everybody. Have a good night. Peace.